If you're thinking about rent vesting in Australia right now in 2024, this is my thoughts to reply to this question. Say, for example, you're a young professional earning about 170k, you're single, and you can't afford a house in Sydney. For example, a house is usually between 1.5 to even $2 million, depending where you're hunting. But for example, this person wants to buy a $2 million house. There's no way on 170k he could buy a house, but he could buy a property in Brisbane where there is a rental yield of 6% and good growth for 750k a house, and maybe it comes with a granny flat where there's dual income. This young professional, instead of waiting and saving money, slaving away to build up that deposit to buy a $2 million property, they can still rent in their desired location, for example, Mosman, but still invest in Brisbane. And there are three benefits of that. Number one is maximize tax deductibility for old mate over here. For example, we all know that the stage 3 tax cut is coming, which means on 170k for old mate, he'll be in the tax bracket of 30%, which means if he buys a property in Brisbane, for example, the interest is 6.6%, and we're borrowing 90% of 750, which means the loan is about 675. The potential interest rate is $44,550, and say for example he bought a sort of newish property, the depreciation is around $15,000 per year, and plus there's maintenance costs. For example, he did some renovation, yada yada yada, account to $5,000. So the potential property deduction against this property is around $64,550, but we have to account for the rental yield. For example, at 5% in Brisbane over here, that works out to be $37,500. We get this minus that, we have a negative loss of $17,050 that can be offset against his income over here. Leads to benefit number two, he can leverage growth versus doing nothing. A person that wants to buy a $2 million house will probably do nothing, just save. But whilst he's not doing this, he's bought a property in Brisbane, he could leverage the growth. In the next 4 to 5 years, this could go up to maybe $1 million. While he's leveraging growth, it leads to point number three, he can still be living in his Mosman property, renting and living the lifestyle flexibility. This is growing in value versus a person who basically knows, I just want to buy in Sydney and die in Sydney and buy that $2 million house. They'll be, waiting, saving, whilst this person is leveraging growth. That's my thoughts about rent vesting. If you're the type of person that has high income, you want to live in a house that's around $2 million, and you can't settle for 50 Shades of Mount Druitt, buy a house on 1.1, and you don't want to do that. That's yuck, right? I would suggest rent vesting to be a good strategy, because you can still have your bougie lifestyle in Mosman and not settle for less, but still own an investment property that is growing in value whilst maximizing tax deductibility and taking advantage of the stage 3 tax cuts, which means you'll be taxed at 30%. So what do you guys think? Rent vest or not rent vest? Jump in the comments, let me know what you think.